You are breathing, yet rarely notice how the air hums with more than oxygen. Beneath each inhale exists vibration, a subtle frequency so constant it slips through awareness. Right now, in the stillness of your listening, there is a hidden pulse. You can feel it if you allow yourself. It is the shimmer of existence itself. Every cell in your body broadcasts a signal. Each thought generates waves. Every emotion shapes a current. This is not poetic exaggeration. This is the foundation of reality, vibration, energy, frequency. You are taught that reality is solid, predictable, heavy like stone. Look closer down into quantum depths. The solidity crumbles. What you find is not matter, but motion. Not certainty, but possibility. Electrons flicker between states, photons dance between presence or absence. What you call a table, a hand, a heartbeat is woven of invisible rhythms. Reality resembles a song more than a structure. The problem is, most people are out of tune with their own music. They live in static, their frequencies scrambled by fear, doubt, noise. You have felt this static. It shows up as friction in your daily life. That moment when you chase an opportunity, yet it slips away. When you long for love, but attract the same patterns of distance or disappointment. When you push for success, yet collide with invisible resistance. These aren't accidents. They are signals. Misalignment between your inner frequency and the field around you. The quantum field does not reward effort the way the material world does. It mirrors coherence. Scattered energy creates chaos. Tuned energy bends reality toward harmony. Imagine your being as a radio tower. Each thought broadcasts on a channel. Each emotion modulates the wave. Every action amplifies the signal. Most people switch channels, constantly fear at one moment, hope the next scarcity by nightfall. The field receives a scrambled message. When thought, emotion, action unify, coherence emerges. Coherence is irresistible. The field responds instantly the way a mirror reflects your face. Delay never belongs to the universe. Delay exists in alignment. You already sense this in subtle ways. Have you ever walked into a room, felt the atmosphere before anyone spoke? The heavy weight of anger, the warmth of openness. Energy communicates without language. It bypasses masks, exposes truth. The same principle shapes your life. The field listens not to words, but to vibration. You can declare abundance 1,000 times, yet if your body vibrates scarcity, the signal is clear. You can visualize love endlessly, yet if your frequency is fear of abandonment, the field reflects that echo. This explains why people doubt manifestation. They confuse declarations with energetic broadcasting. Here lies the revelation vibration can be tuned. You are not trapped inside static from the past. The hidden pulse of reality is malleable. Feel it now in the rhythm of your breath, in the hum of your heart. These are not mere biological functions, they are instruments. Breath resets frequency. Heart coherence anchors vibration. Awareness acts as a tuning fork. The instant you notice your state, you shift it. Attention becomes alchemy. Close your eyes for a moment. Place one hand on your chest. Feel the warmth. Breathe slowly, deeply until the inhale expands. The exhale lengthens. You are not just calming nerves. You are realigning your broadcast. As breath deepens, static clears. What replaces it is resonance, a vibration that feels like presence, like being here fully. That is coherence arriving. You can practice this in 60 seconds. The field responds. Now imagine applying this practice to your entire life. Each morning you wake, you ask, what frequency am I broadcasting today? Fear or trust? Scarcity or abundance? Isolation or connection? The choice is not about pretending, it is about tuning. Just as a musician adjusts strings until they sing in harmony, you adjust your energy until reality begins to echo. This is not mysticism, it is physics meeting consciousness. Energy organizes matter. Frequency precedes form. You will start noticing synchronicities. At first, they seem like coincidences. The call at the right time, the door opening, Just as you arrive, the message answering the question you never spoke. Pay attention. These are signals your vibration is aligning. The more coherent you become, the more reality flows without resistance. You are no longer pushing through stone walls, you are gliding on currents carrying you. This is what it means to live attuned to the hidden pulse of reality. Coherence is not a one-time event, it is a practice. Just as you would tune a guitar before every performance, you must tune vibration daily. The field is dynamic emotions, fluid mind restless, yet you are not powerless. Each moment you return to awareness, you reclaim the instrument. Each breath clears static. Each choice broadcasts alignment. Over time, this becomes natural. Coherence is no longer forced, it is lived. Here lies the paradox: the more you chase outcomes, the more static you generate. Coherence is not achieved by grasping, but by releasing. You don't force the radio to play the correct station, you tune until the signal emerges. You don't force reality to bend, you align until it mirrors. Release the fight. The hidden pulse is already here beneath noise. Your task is not to create it, but to join it. You are not separate from the field. You are the field localized as you expressing itself through vibration. Once you realize this, life changes. Obstacles stop appearing as enemies, they become feedback, showing where your signal falters. Desires stop looking distant. They are frequencies waiting for coherence. Reality stops being a puzzle, it becomes a mirror. The hidden pulse of reality has always been guiding you, always humming beneath the surface. Now you are beginning to hear it clearly. Once you hear it, you cannot return to silence. You are not just a separate self walking through space. At the quantum level, separation dissolves. What appears as distance between you and another is an illusion. Every particle carries entanglement, a silent bond that defies logic. Two photons birthed together remain connected even when galaxies apart. Change the state of one, the other shifts instantly. This truth is not confined to laboratories, it echoes into your life. You too are entangled with people, with possibilities, with the vast field itself. The threads are invisible, yet the pull is unmistakable. You have felt it already. The sudden thought of someone just before their message arrives. The sensation that you are being observed only to turn and meet someone's gaze. The uncanny alignment of crossing paths with a stranger who speaks the words you needed most. Society labels these coincidences, dismisses them as chance. But nothing in the quantum field is random. What seems like accident is entanglement whispering through your life. The field reveals your connection to everything that breathes, everything that moves, everything that dreams. Quantum physics discovered what ancient mystics declared: all is one. Science describes particles communicating outside of time. Mystics describe unity beneath appearances. Different languages, same truth. You live in a world where the smallest particle refuses isolation. This same refusal echoes in your spirit. Your essence knows it cannot be severed from the whole. Yet ego convinces you otherwise. Ego insists on separation, me versus you, mine versus yours, survival against threat. It builds walls around identity. Those walls create fear. Fear distorts vibration. Distorted vibration scrambles the entanglement you naturally share. Imagine this: you stand at the center of an infinite web. Each thought you release vibrates through threads that reach everywhere. Each emotion pulses across the strands felt by countless others. You may never meet them, yet your frequency arrives. Entanglement ensures no signal remains confined. When you carry coherence, that coherence spreads. When you broadcast fear, fear echoes outward. You are not isolated. You are a living node in a universal network of exchange. Most people ignore this web. They believe only what eyes confirm. But reality is subtler. You are reading this now because of entanglement, because signals aligned, because invisible forces wove pathways until this very moment unfolded. Reflection itself proves the bridge exists. Thoughts spark across distance, energy travels without wires. Intuition pierces the barrier of space. Every encounter carries this hidden architecture. You can deny it, but you cannot escape it. The universe is already woven together. This truth, once seen, becomes liberating. You stop believing you are a single voice shouting into silence. You recognize yourself as a resonant frequency carried across the whole. The despair of isolation dissolves. You realize your intention never travels alone. It always rides on threads of connection. Speak love into the field, it ripples. Embody trust, it ripples. Release fear, it ripples. Every ripple returns amplified. This is entanglement lived as daily reality. Think back to moments when your heart suddenly expanded. Perhaps during music that lifted you beyond yourself. Perhaps during silence under stars that made you forget time. Perhaps during a touch that made you realize someone else's presence mirrored your own. Those flashes are glimpses of entanglement. They remind you that your consciousness is not bounded by skin. You are breathing with the cosmos, resonating with more than a body. To awaken spiritually is to live aware of this truth, not just occasionally, but constantly. Ego fears this dissolution. It clings to boundaries. It seeks control, but control is illusion. Entanglement shows that life is not a linear path created by one self alone. It is a dance of infinite selves, weaving timelines together. The job you receive, the door that closes, the chance meeting that shifts destiny all emerge from this network. You are a co-creator, never a lone creator. The field rearranges itself through relationship, through resonance, through shared vibration. Begin to notice how entanglement shapes your reality. Track the coincidences with attention. You think of someone, then they call. You imagine a path, then signs appear. Skepticism may dismiss these as chance, but repetition proves otherwise. The more coherent your signal, the more obvious the entangled responses become. What was once rare synchronicity becomes natural flow. You are no longer pushing events, you are participating in orchestration already underway. Now picture the practical power of this realization. If you are entangled with the field, then transformation need not wait for external permission. You alter your frequency, you alter the threads. Consciousness shifts, the network adapts. This explains why inner change precedes outer change. You heal an old wound, then relationships shift. You embody abundance, then opportunities multiply. You release fear, then pathways open. Nothing occurs in isolation. Every shift inside radiates outward, tugging countless threads toward coherence. This is why spiritual awakening and quantum physics intersect. Both point toward unity. Both declare separation false. One reveals the mechanics, the other reveals the experience. Together, they offer the bridge between matter and spirit. You are not asked to abandon science or faith. You are invited to see them as mirrors reflecting the same mystery. Reality is relational. Consciousness and particle are not apart, they are entwined. When you recognize this, your life becomes less about controlling events, more about tuning your participation in the field. Entanglement calls you to responsibility. Every thought matters, every vibration counts. Each time you cultivate coherence, you are not only shifting your own path, you are feeding the entire web with clarity. Each time you spiral into fear, the web trembles. This does not mean you must strive for perfection. It means you must awaken to your influence. Awareness transforms everything. The more awake you become, the more conscious your contribution, the more harmonious the network grows. You are entangled with all that exists. To live unaware of this truth is to suffer in separation. To live aware of this truth is to awaken. Once you recognize it, isolation fades. Connection becomes reality, not concept. Your life no longer feels like a series of accidents. It becomes a living conversation with the quantum field, a dance of signals that never ends. In this realization, fear loses power. The illusion of distance dissolves. You remember you were never alone. You were always woven into the infinite. You have carried shadows within you, memories, beliefs, patterns that whisper you are less than whole. These shadows have shaped your choices, concealed your strength, and distorted your signal. Ancient alchemists studied how to turn lead into gold. They spoke in metals and fire, yet beneath their symbols lay a deeper science transformation of the inner world. Lead was never only metal. Lead was the heavy weight of unconsciousness. Gold was not just treasure. Gold was awakened essence, the radiant state of alignment. You are the modern alchemist invited to perform the same transmutation within your consciousness. Alchemy begins with awareness. You cannot change what you refuse to see. Shadows are not enemies, they are raw material. Fear, anger, grief. These are not stains on your spirit, but elements awaiting refinement. Imagine a crucible heated until impurities rise to the surface. Your life itself is that crucible. Every challenge that triggers pain is an opportunity to bring the hidden into light. Each emotion that overwhelms is an ingredient asking for transmutation. The fire of awareness purifies. Resistance hardens the lead. Presence softens it into gold. You know this because you have lived it. Think of a time when a wound pushed you to grow. Perhaps heartbreak cracked you open to vulnerability. Perhaps failure humbled you into strength. Perhaps loss reminded you of impermanence, forcing you to cherish presence. In the moment, it felt unbearable. Looking back, you see the alchemy. The raw weight of pain was melted by an experience reshaped into wisdom. That is transmutation. That is your essence reclaiming itself through fire. Yet many avoid the furnace. They numb with distraction, bury emotions, deny shadows. They cling to false light, repeating affirmations, while fear remains unexamined beneath. This is spiritual bypassing. The field does not respond to masks. It responds to truth. Pretending to shine while carrying unresolved darkness only creates static. True alchemy requires courage to sit with discomfort, to feel what you avoided, to honor even the parts of yourself you judged. Only then can the lead rise into the fire of awareness. Alchemy also requires union of opposites. In ancient texts, they called it conjunctio, the sacred marriage of sun and moon, masculine and feminine, above and below. Within you exists polarity, logic and intuition, action and stillness, shadow and light. Ego splits them apart, labeling one good, the other bad. Consciousness reclaims both, merges them, creates wholeness. When opposites unite, energy intensifies. A locked door opens, a new frequency emerges. This union is not metaphorical, it is vibrational coherence born from integration. You become luminous because you stop dividing yourself. Now imagine applying alchemy to your subconscious. Hidden beliefs stored from childhood run silently like programs. They tell you you're unworthy of love, incapable of abundance, destined for struggle. These beliefs are not truth, they are lead. Left unchecked, they broadcast fear into the field, attracting circumstances that confirm them. But once seen, once placed into the crucible of awareness, they begin to dissolve. You question them, you expose their fragility, you replace them with chosen frequency. The alchemist inside you transforms limiting scripts into liberating codes. In doing so, you rewire the field itself. This is how quantum manifestation truly works. It is not about layering desire on top of fear. It is about purifying the base metal of the subconscious. The cleaner your inner field, the clearer your external field. Gold emerges when the inner furnace burns away illusion. You become the frequency of what you seek. You stop chasing outcomes because the signal already radiates from you. The field responds not to demands, but to resonance. Alchemy turns you into the resonance itself. But remember, alchemy is a process, not an event. The furnace must be tended daily. The fire of awareness must be stoked through practice. Breath becomes flame. reflection becomes refinement. Stillness becomes separation of pure from impure. Action becomes crystallization. Each day you choose to live awake, you continue the great work. Each time you bring light to a shadow, you shift vibration. The process repeats until your entire being resonates as gold. Here's the secret. Most overlook alchemy is not about destroying the shadow. It is about including it, transforming it, loving it into wholeness. Gold is not created by rejecting lead, it is created by refining lead. Your wounds are not obstacles to manifestation. They are doorways. They hold the energy that once transmuted becomes the very fuel of your creation. The place you resist most often hides the treasure. The fear you avoid holds your power. The grief you bury hides your love. Awareness liberates what was trapped and energy flows free once again. To live as an alchemist is to recognize every challenge as material. Conflict in relationships, scarcity in finances, limitation in health, each is an element. You place it into the furnace, observe without judgment, feel fully transformed deliberately. Life ceases to feel like punishment. It becomes the laboratory of awakening. You are no longer victim of circumstance, you are practitioner of transmutation. Every obstacle becomes a gift disguised as lead. Imagine waking each morning with this lens. Instead of dreading difficulties, you welcome them as ingredients. Instead of fleeing discomfort, you see it as fire for your crucible. Instead of resenting wounds, you honor them as pathways to gold. This shift alone changes everything. The field mirrors not a person trapped in struggle, but an alchemist radiating coherence. The more you refine, the more luminous your reality becomes. Scarcity dissolves into flow conflict, into harmony wounds, into wisdom. You live not as a seeker, but as a creator. The alchemists once wrote, "As above, so below. As within, so without." This is not metaphor, it is instruction. The external mirrors the internal. Transform your inner lead, outer gold appears. Align your inner vibration, outer harmony unfolds. The quantum field simply reflects coherence. It is waiting for you to embody the alchemist, to step into the furnace willingly, to reclaim your essence through fire. The invitation has always been here. Now you hear it clearly. You are not broken. You are becoming gold. You have spent much of your life inside a costume called self, a collection of stories stitched together. Your name, your history, your successes, your wounds. Ego built this costume for survival. It told you that you are separate, fragile, defined by comparison. It whispered that your worth depends on how others perceive you, how much you achieve, how little you fail. This costume felt safe, but it also became a cage. The illusion of self narrowed your vision, distorted your vibration, and kept you looping inside patterns that never reflected your true essence. Ego thrives on division. It says me versus you, mine versus theirs, past versus future. It creates an endless battlefield of identities. When you chase validation, you are serving ego. When you shrink to avoid judgment, you are serving ego. When you compare your path to another's, you are serving ego. The quantum field, however, does not respond to ego. The field responds to essence. It mirrors vibration, not persona. While ego struggles, essence radiates. While ego clings, essence flows. To manifest consciously, you must shatter the illusion. Dissolve the costume, reclaim what existed before ego spoke its first word. This dissolution can feel terrifying. Ego tells you that without it, you are nothing. But the opposite is true. Without ego's cage, you are everything. Imagine standing before a mirror that reflects not your appearance, but your energy. Ego's mask blurs the image. When the mask dissolves, the reflection sharpens a luminous field, vast, limitless, untamed. You are not the story you repeat. You are the awareness beneath story. Not the role you play, but the light animating the role. Once you see this, the illusion collapses, the costume falls. What remains is essence. you have tasted this before. Remember the moments when you lost track of yourself entirely in music, in love, in awe beneath the stars. In those flashes, ego vanished. You were not thinking of your past or your image. You were presence itself merged with experience timeless. That taste is your natural state. Ego interrupts it, pulls you back into labels, insists you define yourself. But truth does not need definition. Essence does not need permission. It simply is. To reclaim essence, begin by questioning ego's voice. When fear arises, you cannot do this, you will fail. Ask who is speaking. When pride insists you must prove yourself, you must dominate. Ask who is speaking. Ego thrives on urgency, drama, scarcity. Essence speaks quietly, calmly, with no need to impress. Ego shouts, essence whispers. With awareness, you learn to distinguish the two. Slowly, the illusion loosens its grip. Ego is not the enemy, it is the apprentice. It was built to protect, but protection has become prison. When you integrate ego rather than obey it, the mask becomes transparent. You stop mistaking the costume for the self. You wear identity lightly, knowing you are more than any role. Parent, partner, leader, healer, all are expressions, not essence. Essence cannot be confined to a label. It expands beyond them all. Quantum manifestation requires this realization. If you try to manifest from ego, the field mirrors fear, comparison, neediness. You may achieve results, but they collapse quickly because the signal is unstable. When you manifest from essence, the field mirrors truth. Outcomes flow not because you chase them, but because you embodied them. Ego wants to control reality. Essence collaborates with reality. Ego demands, essence resonates. The difference is the gap between struggle and effortless flow. To shatter illusion is to stop identifying with the voice of lack. You are not your doubts. You are not your wounds. You are not even your achievements. You are the presence witnessing them all. Sit with this truth in silence. Notice thoughts arise, observe them. Notice emotions pass, observe them. Behind every flicker is awareness itself. That awareness is essence, infinite, untouchable, radiant. Ego cannot touch it, fear cannot stain it, failure cannot diminish it. You are already whole. The mask only made you forget. When the mask dissolves, your vibration changes instantly. Fear no longer scrambles the signal. Desire no longer feels desperate. You radiate coherence because you live from truth, not pretense. Reality begins to mirror this state. People feel drawn to your authenticity. Opportunities align without force. Relationships deepen because you no longer perform, you simply exist as you are. This is liberation, not becoming something new, but remembering what has always been. Illusion also exists outside the personal self. Society feeds collective ego endless competition, constant distraction worship of image over essence. You are bombarded with signals telling you that you are not enough unless you buy more, achieve more, display more. This collective illusion creates static in the field. To reclaim essence, you must also step outside these programs. Simplify, disconnect from noise. Choose presence over performance. Each act of withdrawal from illusion strengthens coherence. Each moment of truth feeds the field with clarity. The great paradox reveals itself. The less you cling to identity, the more powerful your influence becomes. By releasing the costume, you broadcast essence unfiltered. The field cannot resist essence because essence is the field recognizing itself through you. This is why sages, mystics, and awakened beings radiated such presence. They dissolved illusion so only essence remained. You carry this same potential. It is not reserved for a few. It is your birthright. To live this way requires courage. Courage to let go of masks, to stop performing, to risk being fully seen. But what is at risk is only illusion. What remains is invulnerable. You lose nothing real. You gain everything. Essence cannot be destroyed. It cannot be diminished. It only waits for you to release the illusion that concealed it. The moment you reclaim it, the quantum field rearranges. Life shifts because the signal shifts. Coherence flows from authenticity, not effort. Now feel this truth. You are not separate, not small, not broken. You are essence wrapped in temporary form. You are awareness experiencing itself. You are vibration in human shape. The illusion has kept you asleep, but awakening is inevitable. Each time you question ego, each time you choose essence, the costume loosens. Soon it will fall entirely. Then you will stand radiant, untethered free. Not who you thought you were, but who you have always been. This is the liberation waiting for you. This is the alignment that unlocks the field. You stand now on the edge of remembering. The hidden pulse is alive inside you. Entanglement whispers connection through every thread. Alchemy has revealed the treasure hidden in your shadows. Ego's mask has fallen, leaving essence exposed. What remains is the key, the quantum key, that rewrites reality the instant you hold it. This key is not outside you, not in ritual, not in external mastery. It is your vibration tuned into coherence, aligned with intention expressed without distortion. When you embody this state, reality bends not because you forced it, but because you became it. The quantum key is awareness fused with choice. Awareness reveals your current frequency. Choice directs it into alignment. Together, they unlock possibility. Every moment is an invitation. Continue broadcasting static or shift into resonance. Continue reacting from fear or create from essence. Continue clinging to illusion or live in coherence. This choice repeats endlessly. With practice, it becomes less about willpower and more about presence. You simply notice, tune, embody. The key turns naturally, unlocking doors that once appeared locked. Energy, frequency, perception. These shape everything. Perception is not passive, it is directive. How you perceive reality alters the frequency you emit. Perception becomes vibration. Vibration becomes signal, signal becomes form. If you perceive lack, your vibration mirrors it, the field reflects it. If you perceive abundance, your vibration expands. The field arranges itself accordingly. The key is not to force perception, but to shift awareness. Instead of scanning for what is missing, notice what is alive. Instead of grasping for what is distant, embody the feeling of it now. This simple act reshapes the field because it changes your frequency. The quantum key does not require perfection. Static will still arise. Old shadows will still whisper. Ego will still try to reclaim the mask. But once you hold the key, you know what to do. You return to awareness, breathe, realign. You practice coherence until it becomes the natural state. Over time, the static fades more quickly, the shadows dissolve more easily, the mask loses all weight. What remains is resonance. You live as essence, not effort. The field responds instantly because the signal is pure. Co-creation emerges here. You are no longer isolated, no longer a lone will struggling against circumstance. You are a participant in the great unfolding. The field moves through you, not just around you. Life becomes dialogue. Your vibration speaks, reality answers. You send a signal, the web rearranges. The response returns, you shift again. This dance never ends. The more aware you become, the more intentional the exchange. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? You begin asking, what signal created this? What signal will I choose next? That shift alone rewrites destiny. Quantum manifestation is not magic trick, it is natural law. Energy organizes matter. Frequency precedes form. Vibration communicates with the field. When you align thought, emotion, and action, coherence emerges. When you embody coherence, the field mirrors it. This is the essence of the key, not to chase reality, but to embody reality. Not to manipulate outcomes, but to resonate with them. You do not manifest what you want, you manifest what you are. The instant you realize this, the illusion of waiting dissolves. Reality shifts here now through you. The subconscious plays a central role. Hidden beliefs act as background frequencies. Until transformed, they distort the signal. You can desire abundance while subconsciously vibrating scarcity. You can seek love while subconsciously vibrating rejection. To wield the quantum key, you must integrate the subconscious. This is where alchemy meets practice. Shadows transmuted become fuel. Old scripts rewritten become clarity. You learn to listen beneath words, beneath surface thoughts, into the deeper hum. There in the subconscious lies the frequency that shapes your life. Awareness brings it forward, choice rewires it, coherence radiates it. Now feel the culmination, vibration, entanglement, alchemy, dissolution of ego, embodiment of essence. Together they form the key. It is not abstract. It is not theoretical. It is alive in this moment within you. To hold it, you need not understand every detail of physics or decode every ancient text. You simply need to practice coherence. Breathe into presence. Feel the field through your heart. Embody the state of already having, already being. Let essence, not ego, broadcast the signal. The key turns when you choose resonance. You manifest not by chasing outcomes, but by becoming coherence. Here's a practical checklist you can carry forward. Morning pause. Hand on heart, 3 deep breaths. Ask, what frequency am I broadcasting today? Midday, notice static. If fear or doubt arise, shift with awareness, slow breath, observe thought, choose resonance. Evening, reflect on the day. Where did essence lead? Where did ego interfere? Transmute shadow into insight. Constant speak from coherence act. From alignment perceive through presence. I want to leave you with this practice. In the comments, share one word that captures the frequency you choose to embody from this moment forward. Perhaps it is clarity, perhaps trust, perhaps radiance. Choose your word as a declaration, a quantum seed planted into the field. If this journey has stirred something within you, if you felt resonance in these words, I invite you to subscribe, not as a follower, but as a participant in a living community of creators aligning with the quantum field. This is more than a channel. It is a gathering of alchemists reclaiming their essence. Thank you for walking this path with me. Thank you for your attention, your presence, your energy. You are not here by accident. You are here because the field called you, because resonance guided you, because essence remembers itself through you. Hold the key, live the coherence. Step into the reality waiting to be rewritten through your vibration. The thought I leave you with reality is listening. Is right now in this very breath, it is tuning to your signal. The only question is, what are you choosing to broadcast?